Greetings, Mambo, Shalom, Salama. Hello, how are you doing? This is Wanda, this is Diaspora Connect. Thank you so much for tuning in. Decided to do a video today and let me make sure that the volume, okay. Decided to do a video today and I wanted to talk to you about how to prepare to come out of the West, how to prepare. You do need to start trying to prepare to leave the West. Now, this is if you decide that that's something that you want to do. Now, if you say you're going to stay there and you're going to ride it out, then, go ahead and do what you feel that you want to do. But if you are interested in leaving the West and you're trying to get your self-situated and prepared to leave the West, there are a few things that you can start doing where you are, which starts with your mind. Now, before I get into the video, I wanted to thank all my faithful subscribers. I want to say thank you for taking the time to view my content. Thank you for the time for subscribing. Thank you for just being present. Thank you so much to my faithful subscribers who have been rocking with me from day one. Thank you to my new subscribers. I want to say welcome to the channel and in the room. I am a native to New Jersey in America, right next to New York. If you don't know what Jersey is, it's on the East Coast of America. I born and raised there, and then I left in 2020 and I moved to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and I resettled here, and so all is well. I am at home here in Dar es Salaam, and you're welcome. Welcome to the channel. Karibu Sana, Karibuni to you. Wanted to do this video and talk about how to prepare your mind for the transition, how to prepare your mind and your heart for leaving the West and everything that you've ever known, basically, to start a new life. It starts with the mind, family. You have to make up your mind and decide that this is a move that I am wanting to make. I have already come to terms that I want to leave. If you are double-minded and you're not sure and you keep going back and forth, that could be a problem for you in preparing to leave. You can't very well prepare to exit when you are still unsure if you actually want to leave. So that is something that you have to come to terms with, and you have to decide, firstly, that yes, I want to leave. I think I'll feel safer outside. I don't feel like dealing with all this fighting, civil war, all these guns, and all that stuff. If you don't want to deal with all that in America, especially if you're an elder, if you are 55 and up and you receive any kind of benefits, any kind of income, then you actually can apply for a retirement permit. You just apply every 2 years. So you apply for it and it's good for 2 years, and then every 2 years you just reapply. So you can either do that online, actually, while you're in the States. If you want to, you can just go to the Tanzanian immigration website and look up all the different permits that are available. You would fit into the retirement one, or retirement one, and I believe it's the minimum age is 55 and up, but you have to, of course, have some type of income to show and prove that you can support yourself. So so go ahead and do that online, or you can actually come here to visit and then decide if this is the country you want to get a retirement residency permit in for retirement. Now, my demographic, the largest demographic for my channel is, I think it's like 50 or 50 in the 50s and up. 50s, I think it's 50 something to 65. So I guess that is Gen X. I think it's Gen X. I think we're Gen X. We're 70s babies, basically. So 70s and 60s babies, 60s, 70s, and 80 babies, I think. I think that's the age range. But anyway, if you are 55 and up and you are receiving any kind of retirement benefits, whether it's from a job, whether it's from a company, whether it's Social Security, whether it's you can apply for a retirement permit here in Tanzania. They don't have citizenship here in Tanzania, but they do have residency permits. Now, if you are younger than 55, you can be an investor to apply for a residency permit. So you can create a company, or you can invest in a company that's already in existence here. You just have to do some research to see what area you're interested in, what skills do you have. So you may need to like connect with that company or that business that's in existence here in Tanzania and see if they you can volunteer, or you can lend your ideas, and you can work with them if it's an area that they're interested in and you're interested in, and you have experience and they have experience, but you come from the West, you come with a different perspective. So they may decide that they want to accept you as an investor, and then they can assist you with a residency permit. So, and also there are jobs which I wouldn't recommend them, but if you have a specialized skill, like I think like teacher, if you're a teacher, you can apply with maybe at the international schools, stuff like that. So there are specialty areas that you can see if the country is looking for certain specialty skills, like doctors and I don't know about nurses, but maybe just do research on that if that's something that you want to do in terms of looking for a job. You do know you won't be getting paid what you get paid in the West, so it won't be probably half as much, but it's an opportunity to get a residency permit. So these are some ways that you could, if you're interested in Tanzania. I always say visit first if you can. Because just make sure you like it. I mean, you might not like it. You might not be able to adjust to the differences. There are some major differences here in Tanzania versus in the States. Some development differences, the way business is done here, the way the whole system is set up is a lot different from the West. So if you have these Western expectations and they are high for you, you may need to go to another country that's a little bit more developed. I would say maybe Nairobi, I don't know, maybe South Africa somewhere, Johannesburg or something, Cape Town, I don't know. But yeah, because Tanzania and Dar es Salaam is developed, but it's still developing. And so there are places that are very top-notch, in terms of development in some businesses and companies. But, you have to see if it's something that you can adjust to. Some people have a difficult time adjusting to things that are outside of what they're used to. But the way things are changing now, you're going to have to even adjust with the new things that are going on in America as well. So, I just wanted to talk to you about preparing your heart and mind to come out of America, starting with making a decision that you want to leave or you want to stay. You have to decide, okay, I can stay. I could, go ahead and deal with the regime that's in the running the country right now, the Nazi Germany crew. I can deal with the authoritarian dictatorship fascist system. And I had one lady say that other countries deal with this as well, and we're not the only one. But the thing about us in America is we've never had a dictatorship. We've never had a system where it's a system set up like a king. The king makes all the decisions, and that's how it's being set up at this point. Trump is like the king over America. He makes all the decisions. There's no House of Representatives speaking up. There's no Senate speaking up. Nobody's speaking up. They just allowing him to do whatever. Nobody's objecting to anything that he's doing. So the ones that can make a difference and the ones that can stop him from jumping off a boat, they're not saying anything. So there you have it. So we've never lived, even when our ancestors were enslaved, we never lived in a dictatorship, authoritarian, fascist system like what's happening now. So I would recommend that if you're going to stay, just know what you're going to get into. getting yourself into. The Constitution is basically gone. Civil rights are definitely gone. Segregation is back. They can hurt, harm, and unalive anybody that's not white and get away with it. Nobody's going to push to investigate the death, the hurt, harms, the kidnappings. Nobody's going to investigate what is going on with our people when things start happening, because the power is in the government's hands. So even if we have people that want to do it, they can silence them, they can do something to them. Judges that try to stand and help people, they can do things to them. You see the judge's house, the judge's house blew up. The one that opposed this new regime, her house got blown up. So this is the type of things that you're going to see in America, and it's just not safe, period, point blank. Now I have people, and especially I notice a lot of some women, but mainly men, are saying, we not going nowhere, we going to stay and fight. That's great. Men, that's what they do. Men fight. But are the women and the children and the elderly, are they wanting to do that, is the question. And is it going to be safe for them, because they don't have the strength to be fighting like the men do. The men, they gonna fight. That's what they do. They beat in their chest. That's what they do. But the women and the children and the elderly, they're fragile, and they need to be somewhere safe. They need to have peace, and they need to have freedom. So the future of America is very grim, and it will never be back the way it was, family, unfortunately. I know you hoping and praying and wishing it's not going to go back, because she's under divine judgment. Therefore, it's going to go worse and worse, and you're going to lose more and more and more freedom. So you have to decide if you want to come out. First of all, you got to make up your mind. You got to be okay with walking away from everything you've ever known. I understand that that's difficult, especially when you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. I feel like the younger people, 20s and 30s, are more eager and excited to make a new start fresh or whatever. But the older people, they have been in the system so much longer, and they're more set in their ways and stuff, and it's a little bit more difficult for them the thought of them leaving everything they've ever known, including some family members. So I get it, but it's a hard decision that you have to make. So the mind, it starts in the mind. Make that final decision. Yes, I am going to leave. Then once you make that decision, then you start preparing in the best way you can. The ones who can freely leave actually are the ones that receive income, whether you're retired, whether you have a pension, whether you have Social Security, some kind of money's coming in. If you have businesses and you could, live off that residual income, then you are able to leave comfortably. But those who are, younger, who don't have streams of income and don't have a way to support themselves, that could be a challenge, and I do understand that. So for those who do want to come out and you have the means to do so, make sure you connect. First of all, make sure your mind is, you're not double-minded. Your mind is set on what you want to do. Make sure you connect in whatever country that you're interested in. You may have to visit a couple of places. Connect with brothers and sisters that are in those countries, and I'm specifically talking to Black Americans. But if you're outside of the continent and you're in other European countries, the UK and Jamaica, and just outside, you can just connect with us as well, because we all diaspora. We're all brothers and sisters dispersed. So connect, and then we can show you the ropes, basically how we have created a new life, how we do the banking, how we do the phone, how we do our lives over here. Consider, we're still citizens of the United States, but we live outside, so we have systems set up for banking, for phones, for transfer monies, and just all kind of things that we need. Being a citizen of the States, we do have things set up financially and everything. So those things will be shared privately because all the world don't need to know how we do things, because when we start sharing those different details about banking and all the ways that we manage, then our enemies will see how we're managing, and they will start trying to cut things off and make it difficult for us, so we cannot share those things publicly. That's more for a consultation, more for private conversations. So if you're interested in Tanzania, email me at diasporaconnect0@gmail.com, diasporaconnect0@gmail.com, and I do relocation, resettlement, and business consultations for Tanzania. I have been here 5 years. I did resettle. I left America. I did create a company. I'm doing business, and I'm working on projects. So you can do the same if that's something you want to do. If you have income and you want to do a retirement permit, you can do that. It's good for every 2 years. Once you get your retirement permit, then you can travel to other countries and visit and see. After 2 years, you may decide you want to go to another country, and then you can get a residency permit in that country. So there are options for you. Don't feel like you are stuck because you're over a certain age. You're not. I have a neighbor that's 90 years old, family. I have a neighbor that's 90 years old from the States, and she came in her 80s. Was she in her 80s? She came in her 80s, and she's thriving. Her diet has changed, and you would not think she's her age. She looks amazing. So you can do it, family. Even if you're a single person, single woman, a woman with children, you can do it. We have a community all over the world. Actually, we have people in Thailand, we have people in Panama. We are everywhere, family. So I think it's some of us in Colombia, Brazil, not only on the continent. If you down with Asian countries, we got people over there, but you have to be careful because they're doing they're very AI driven, so they're doing a lot of that transhumanism, AI, digital ID stuff. If you into that, then I guess that's for you. But if you're not, and you still want to remain free, you don't want to be controlled by these systems, then I would say Asia. Yeah, I wouldn't look that way. But a lot of people like it over there. So but anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to share that little tad bit about making sure that you are not double-minded. Your mind is clear, and you know that this is not only that you want to leave, but this is something that your Father, your Maker, your Creator has put in you, the desire to leave America or the West or whatever country you're in. If He has given you the desire and the means, there's nothing stopping you from doing it. If I can do it, you can do it too. As you can see, I'm comfortable. All is well. I'm doing several ventures. Also, I have merch down below. Check out my merch. I do consultations, which I just shared with you. I have a membership packages now, $199 a month. You can join my personal membership group, community, basically, where we share in detail a little bit more. And actually, in the membership, I can share the details about how to set stuff up, like with your bank and with your money transfer, and the best deals and the best rates of how to do it and how to set things up. The type of banks that, here that you can open as a foreigner. There is a bank you can open here. So there are things that I can share with you to help you get situated over here. If you have not done so, I think I shared it on my community tab. Open an international bank account, family. Open a international bank account. You can actually do that online. You can look for international banks. The one I use is Wise, formerly known as TransferWise, but it's called Wise. It's an international bank. In that bank, when you put your USD in that bank, you can transfer your money to any currency. So if you decide that you don't want to be here in Tanzania, you want to go to Kenya, or you want to go to Ghana, you want to go to South Africa, wherever you want to go, you can actually transfer your money, your USD, in your account to different currencies, that your money can follow you no matter what country you go to, even in Asia somewhere, and it's all over because it's international. So I am recommending that everybody open a international bank account. You can actually do that online. I open mine online. You can do that online. You do have to do some verification checks. They need to see the passport, your ID, and all that stuff. Your address, like any other account, but you're not physically there, but you'll have to share your identification. But I recommend international banks at this point because of the freezing of bank accounts and the closing of bank accounts and all that stuff in the United States or in the UK or wherever you are. With the international bank accounts, they're governed by different laws. It's not just one country. It's like all these different countries have an agreement together in this international bank account. So not one country just can go in there and just freeze your account when you're in an international space like that, and you have different countries have contracts with each other. So I think international bank accounts would be a lot safer than just ones in these Western countries that are freezing bank accounts, like the situation that happened in Vietnam. If that person they froze some bank accounts in, I think it was Vietnam, somewhere in Asia, I think it's Vietnam. If they would have had an international bank account, then that would have been different. Their money would have been, it would have been safer, and then they could have moved it to other currencies if they wanted to save, but it would be better if you have an international bank account. I shared the information on the community tab, and I put a link from my account, my international bank account. I shared the link in the community tab for you to get a discount or something, and then I get a benefit also if you use my code. So if you're interested in the international bank account, it's called Wise, then I can share that with you via email. I'm not going to share it on the community tab again because I already did that, but if you're interested, just email me at diasporaconnect0@gmail.com, diasporaconnect0@gmail.com, and then I'll shoot the invite for the bank account to you. And it is good. It is legit. I've been with them for I think 4 years now, 3.5 or 4, something like that. I've been with Wise for like 4 years. I haven't had any problems. And the good thing about Wise is you can use your U.S. It uses the same U.S. routing and account number, and they have routing and account numbers for every country actually. So you can get like direct deposits in there if that's something that you're interested in. People can send you money, and when you do that, as you transfer money to different currencies, you get a discount. It won't be as expensive as you trying to transfer money from your U.S. bank account in the States to somewhere here in Tanzania. They're going to charge you like $50 for a transfer or something like that. But see, when you do it through TransferWise, you're not getting charged that high fee. So it will be worth, especially if you're leaving America and you're going to another country. It's better to get something, an international bank account, so you won't be charged exorbitant fees to transfer large amounts of money. And now it's getting to a point where if you transfer over a certain amount, they're going to try to block you in the States and in the UK and a lot of the European countries. They're going to try to block you from transferring over a certain amount. If it's over a certain amount, they're going to hold it and ask you all these questions. They want to know what are you doing with it and all that. See, you don't want to have to go through that when you need your money and you're trying to get an apartment, paying for 6 months, or buying a car, or buying, furniture and stuff. You don't need issues like that when it comes to getting your money. So I do recommend that you open an international bank account. So it's called Wise. Email me if you're interested, diasporaconnect0@gmail.com, diasporaconnect0@gmail.com. And I think that's it for now. I just wanted to share that. Make sure that you're convinced in your mind. Don't be double-minded and be like, yeah, I'm going to go, I want to stay, I'm going to go, because that's wasting time. You don't know what is going to transpire on November 1st when, the EPT might be shut off, the food stamps might be shut off, something. So it's a lot of people on those getting those benefits, and you don't know if they're gonna lose their mind. You don't know if they're gonna start looting these different stores and restaurants. And if that's the case, you're not gonna be able to go in there and just shop like normally. They may have to shut it down. How are you going to get your food? How are you going to get the stuff? If you're not connected to someone that has like a farm or something like that, then you're gonna be in bad shape. So I would recommend that you really start thinking about what is your plan. What is your plan? And you don't have long, because on the first is things are going to change even further. Medicaid was taken away from a lot of people, and a lot of people were apprehensive about coming to the continent, saying, "Oh, do they have hospitals and healthcare?" They do have hospitals and healthcare all across Africa. As a matter of fact, when I've gone, I've been treated better here than I've ever been treated when I was in the States. Even though I'm not sickly, but when I did have to go, the service was top notch. Yes, it's self-pay, so you do pay, but it's a lot less. Like some of the work that I've had done, like on my teeth and stuff like that, it would be like thousands of dollars in the States with insurance. But here, it's self-pay, and it's more affordable. There have been women who've had babies here where it's a couple of $100s, but in the States it's like thousands of dollars, five, six, seven, almost $10,000 to have a baby. So it is a difference in the price, and it's more affordable, even though it's self-pay and you don't have insurance, but it's more affordable. So don't feel like where you go and they don't have medicine, and they have here in Tanzania, they have their own Food and Drug Administration. They don't use the US stuff. So their stuff, I trust Tanzanian stuff way more than I trust the Western, like medicines and stuff. I haven't really had to use any, but when I did, I just trust it more because they have their own regulations. They have their own people, and Africans are very intelligent. Don't get it twisted. They are very intelligent. And so they have their clinics, their pharmacies, their hospitals. Everything you need is here. I'm not missing out on anything here that I couldn't get in the West. Besides some of the conveniences, which it don't matter to me with some of that. Every now and then you have lights out. Every now and then you might have water problems, but they're all workable. Where they have wells, it's usually the water problems of the water system, like the community water, the city water company. Those are the ones that might have problems. But if you have like a borehole, if you have a well, no problem, because a lot of times when the city water has issues, they bring us well water. So it's still workable. So that's what I am talking about. So don't feel no kind of way, family. We are everywhere, and we're thriving on the continent and in other countries. So don't feel like America is the only place that you can live and be happy. You're not happy there right now. It's not safe. It's very dangerous. So consider what you want to do. If you have the means and you're interested, you can come out of her. You don't have to be stuck. If you don't have the means and you're there, pray about it and see. Somebody might call you one day and be like, "Look, I want to bless you. I have land. I got a food forest. You can come stay on my land and help me with my food forest for free." That's a start for you. As a young person with children, you'll have a roof and you'll have food. That's the main thing. And then you can work on trying to do things online. I'm always recommending not necessarily a job online, but like use your skills online. Like you might be whatever skills you have, you might be somebody that can teach English, or even here, or you could you have skills where you could do freelance work. You can do freelance work. You can type papers, maybe data entry, correct papers for school teachers. They have so many things online that you can do to make money. And also with social media, in the social media space, where advertising stuff, and people always offering people to help with advertising and help with marketing. There's so many things that you can do, but you just have to look into it, and you have to just don't be afraid. Don't be shy. You have to take that step, and you're basically stepping out on faith. But you can do it. We've all done it. We've all had to take that leap of faith or take that first step. And then I noticed once I start taking these first steps and being courageous, and the Father opened doors. It's almost like He's waiting for you to do your part, and then He'll do His part. He's not going to do everything for you while you're sitting there and you're like, I can't do nothing. It's like there is something that you can do. Do everything that you can do in your power, and then He will do the rest. Where you in as far as what you are capable of doing or what you can do, he's going to continue and meet you there. But if you don't take the first step and you don't even try to do something, even if it's starting with getting your mind convinced and not being double-minded and convinced about whether you're going to stay or go or whatever you want to do, that is even a start. Even if you don't physically have the resources or the finances or whatever, you can start with a desire. Father, I have a desire to leave, but I have no way. I don't know how. Can you help me? It's a start. So thank you so much for taking the time to view my channel and my content. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please make sure you're still subscribed. People have been unsubscribed. My subscriber count, it goes up, then it goes down. It's like, what's happening? But anyway, no problem. Don't forget that you're to make sure you're still subscribed. And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video or the next live. I might do a live tomorrow. I'm trying to do lives more often, every few days, just to talk to people. I like to interact. So it's been very beneficial because people have told me in the lives that, I help them, a lot with valuable information. They may have questions about different things. They may be unsure about some stuff. And as I'm talking, I just start talking and saying stuff that sometimes you don't always think about doing videos about certain things, concerning certain things. But when you're in a live and you're just talking, you tend to share information with people that maybe they never thought about, maybe you never thought about, because it's just so much. I've been here 5 years. There's so much to share, but you have to try to narrow it down in these videos. So yeah, so anyway, have a good one, and I will see you guys in the next video or the next live. Shalom, salama, peace, family.